Oh shit. Let's turn on the TISM protector. Right off the bat, that's got to go on. It's pretty close to a full-scale TISM event there. I tried to start this fucking stream without the TISM reflector on. Paul's ego is a Teletubby. Especially for these late night streams, man. I just don't have the fucking... I don't have the energy to deal with it, so... You know, bubbles it is. Alright, Christian, you're on, dude. You're on. Let's do this thing. Cheers. Why didn't you get a notification? Because YouTube fucking sucks. Yeah, the 4 a.m. crowd. You know, I usually don't do this, but I'm gonna apologize ahead of time to you fucking assholes. I'm just in a bad mood, and I hate trying to sleep while I'm in a terrible mood. My brain is always the most active when I'm in a terrible mood. I just am. I don't know what it is, man. It's life. Just shit. I mean, I wish that I had the energy to vent, but I don't even really care to vent. Just looking for a little sweet distraction. Just a lot of bullshit, man. A lot of nonsense going on. And just one of them things, man. Serotonin, yeah. Melatonin. Melatonin helps with sleep. You like that fat foo? Yeah, man. What an awesome movie. It's why this I love that you know, little segment on Cinema for Cynics. I love the Cynics versus Cinema segment because it's like, I don't know, man. You bump into fucking movies that you probably never would have even thought about watching, and you end up really liking them. Like, that movie was dope. Which is weird because the lefty YouTubers tend to steer clear of this area. Which area? Which area is that? Because I don't even think we agreed upon us being in an area. And that's something that's, you gotta make terms for that shit. There ain't no fucking McDonald's here in Australia. Doesn't shock me. I mean, go back to being a prison country. Australia is still a fucking British penal colony, all right? However highfalutin they may have gotten in the interim. You sound annoyed, Paul. I'm annoyed that you've asked that 4 fucking times in a row, chasing Tom. That's chief among my annoyances right now. Well, when the queen dies, there's just gonna be a fucking. It's just gonna be fucking King Charles, dude. And then you're still a colony. Yeah, he chased that Tom dancer down, dude. Seeing as you're in a bad mood, I see your true colors shining through. That it doesn't work, man. You can't just type lyrics in the chat. It's got to be the right time, the right place, you know, and the songs actually got to be playing. Oh man, you ever just see like this giant hill of shit that lies before you, you know, and you feel like you've got a place on that hill you want to reach, and you're just like, man, that's a pretty reasonable goal. But you look at where you're at, and you look up at the hill, and you're like, fuck, god damn it, that's a long ways up there. Yeah, that's where my head's been at the last couple of days. What are you vaping today? Hey, what are you vaping today? I have to go to work this morning at 9 and drink, drink. Man, what a fucking night. What a night to have a curse. All fucking trolls must fucking hang. Nah, man. Trolls are okay. Trolls are just fucking fine. The bubbles represent my sadness. No, man. The bubbles take my sadness and float away with it. Just like they do yours. The bubbles make you calm. The bubbles make you think about happy times being a kid. Now that you've mentioned it, Spider Pool, there will be. So thanks for that. If we're lucky, we get to see Paul's goofy expressions. Oh, yeah, if you're lucky. Only if you're lucky, though. If you're not lucky, this is just it, dude. The nettles make the milk drop out. I'm cat sitting, and the cat I'm watching is being a cunt to my cat. That'll happen, man. They don't like each other. You like cats? I like cats. Cats are cool. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of cats, but they aight. Are you still using Twitter? I'll dump some shit for your reading pleasure. Yeah, go ahead. I check my Twitter every day. Am I God? Yes, I'm God. Do I prefer Winston's, Chesterfields, or Philip Morris? I'm telling you. I smoke what the Beverly Hillbillies smoke. Good old Winston's. Tell Evan to get this New World shit moving. I know, right? What's the fucking hold up, man? What is the goddamn motherfucking hold up? If you're so irritated, Paul, why the fuck did you come back here? This place seems like it raises your blood pressure. It actually doesn't. Maybe sometimes it does, but maybe, in a positive way. It's a good venting grounds. It's a good place to come and just leave everything out on the table. Just. All right, Christian, let's keep going on this bowl of legal tobacco we're working on. That shit will help way more than venting. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I'll do like a top 5 favorite kung fu movies or something. It's been a long time since I've watched kung fu movies, but I got obsessed with them for a little while when I was younger. Watched them all the time. Imagine Jesus is gently massaging your scrotum. Whoa. That does work. That's nice. Thanks for the tip. Well, I feel like we're really nearing the future now in terms of technology, and it's actually kind of unsettling, like we're being hurtled into the sun. Well, I mean, like we're having this acceleration of technology. Technology is getting, an order of magnitude more complex and smaller and cheaper and more efficient. And it's just the accelerate, like the pedals to the metal, and um, you know, I guess time will tell. Um, it's no scarier a time to be alive than any other time. I mean, things weren't less scary before this giant boom in technology, so I don't know. I'm not really all that scared. It's a very uncertain time to live in. You can't quite tell which way it's going, but you can see the trajectory. There will come a time where we can manipulate matter itself, then things get weird. Yeah, because then the question, you know what I mean? Of course, that type of technology is only going to be available at the top. But if it ever becomes widely available, then our entire way of life is totally moot. If we can come up with, these kind of replicators and fabricators, these kind of far future devices that can rearrange molecules on the fly and create any item that you need so far as you've got the base components for it. I mean, that sort of thing just makes capitalism, democracy, nationalism, it just makes it all totally and utterly worthless. Because you know, uh, it means that eventually you're working towards there being no such thing as a debt. You can't really value gold if you can just replicate it. you know. Do you like Metal Gear? Not Metal Gear Solid. The old Nintendo Metal Gears? Nah, they kind of suck. Not to get too personal, but did your parents have depression? Both mine did, and I first noticed that I had it too several years ago. I know my dad has struggled with the depression end of things. My mom, not so much with the depression, but anxiety. And I've got a heaping spoonful of both of those. You ever think of doing shit outside, like hiking or making a campfire? I do it all the time, and it really kills my stress. I've yet to meet one person. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to, get to the point where I can walk around. Like that's why I'm really hoping we get this piece of property that we were looking at, this house, because, man, It's a nice big piece of property to walk around on. How many years do you think it might take us to be living in a Deus Ex world? I honestly don't think it's going to be all that long. I think 20 to 30 years from now, you could see pretty widespread like bionic people in terms of having their eyes replaced, their ears replaced, their limbs replaced. That sort of thing is going to become more and more integrated and more complex and fine tuned. So I wouldn't be shocked if in 20 or 30 years you've got genuine cyborgs walking around. I mean, technically you already do. Talk louder. There's a drunk dude yelling on the bus. I mean, what can I do about that? Give him some booze or something. Give him something else to do. What augmentation would you get? I'd get like the cyber spine for sure. You know, probably get the eye replacements. That'd be pretty cool. Definitely like hearing enhancements and such. Headphoneless hearing integration where I can sync up a song to play directly, to be beamed directly into my auditory nerves. So, you know what I mean? I don't have to have headphones to hear what I'm listening to. I can just be listening to it. That sort of thing is kind of exciting. So headphones without headphones. The ability to just pipe music directly into your brain at whatever volume level is pleasing to you without having to wear a secondary device. Eyes that can zoom and focus and provide night vision and heat vision. Just vastly superior to the human eye in every way. Would be cool to mute at any time as well. Yeah, I mean, why not give people the control over that? Like if you're the type of person that has trouble sleeping at night because of ambient light in the room or in your neighborhood or whatever, instead of buying a bunch of blackout curtains and shit and turning your room into a fucking tomb, just turn your eyeballs off at night. Experience absolute complete darkness. You have some loud neighbor or some shit, it's no longer a problem because you can filter out any kind of sound that you want. You know what I mean? Leave your ears on so that you can hear the alarm go off. In fact, you probably, at this point in technology, you probably won't even have an alarm. The alarm will probably just be integrated into your, whatever your wetware fucking brain implant is. Where, your body is stimulated, gets a little rush of endorphins in the morning. Orgasm button. I mean, yeah, obviously that'll happen. Imagine calling tech support for your eyes not coming back online. Yeah, that would be kind of fucked up. I think humanity will steer towards creating a matrix like world. Just put the body in a sleeper. I mean, like all of that type of stuff, though, in my mind, precedes the matrix, right? Because in order to get the matrix, we have to have some kind of direct brain interface with machinery. And the reason that we're going to invest in those things and why science is going to chase after those things is going to be for limb replacement applications and, people that have been paralyzed, rewiring their bodies so that their bodies work again. That kind of brain machine interface, that's how it'll start. And then, of course, the ability to manipulate your feelings, your brain chemistry, your dreams, will lead to entertainment being beamed directly into your subconscious and, experiencing things rather than watching them. You won't sit down to play a video game. You'll just be in the video game. You won't sit down to watch a movie. You'll experience the film directly. You know, that sort of thing. Um, those are the technologies that I think are going to precede any kind of matrix. Replaces VR, makes VR totally surreptitious, just absolutely unnecessary. And you've got to imagine that, like, if graphic technology accelerates at the same pace that this biomedical, you know, whatever kind of fucking cyborg technology that we're talking about does, then it's going to be photorealistic. So it's going to be like creating reality. So instead of buying the new Halo game, you'll just be Master Chief. And not only will you be Master Chief, but it'll be photorealistic. So it'll be indistinguishable from reality. And there'll be various modes of control, but it'll all be done internally. It'll all be an internal experience. It'll all be something that you can do at any time of day or night. You'll have constant access to it. If you think about it, a smartphone is an indirect chip into your mind. I mean, it's the beginnings of that, right? We're starting to see this idea of a global consciousness network where everybody's kind of putting their lives out there online to be chewed up and, you know, mined for data. And, you know, people are already preparing themselves for that. So you got to say, you know, there are a lot of people that are weirded out about it now, but if it remains commonplace, the next couple of generations that come along after these, they're not even going to care about that shit. That's just going to be a natural part of their day. And so the populace is going to be absolutely prepared to have their thoughts and their dreams and their fantasies and whatnot beamed out and intermingled with other people's. So when the technology is there, I think you'll find a very compliant human populace if the trajectory that we're on remains kind of the way it's going, which, I don't know, I think it's pretty likely. NSA spying, I mean, that's not even going to be a thing. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, spying is going to have a whole new context. Human intelligence gathering is just going to absolutely skyrocket. Everybody's thoughts are going to be run through the mill. Anybody that's engaged in any kind of fucking dissident activity or dangerous activity, however that's defined at the time, is going to be immediately found and sought out by law enforcement. It's going to be a different world, you know, an entirely different reality than the one we live in now. How smart am I? Not all that smart, man. I'd have to walk half a mile through dark South Florida forest every morning, so if you don't hear from me, I got ate by a panther. Oh. Hope you've got, like, something to fight the panther with, so you don't just go out like a total screaming bitch. Like, you carry a knife or a gun or some shit, right? So panther comes running out of the trees, you at least got a sporting chance of taking a crack at it. Panthers usually go for the throat. Oh, well, wear a gorget or something then. You got a whistle? Oh, okay, that should help. Good luck. What about a relaxing device of brain implant that can make you experience a movie or a game while sleeping or while you're bored? I mean, yeah, those types of things, like being able to experience tailor-made things when you sleep, is going to be a fashionable thing. And people are going to brag about the new simulation that they got for their dream chip or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, these types of things, like, any downtime in life where you can't access entertainment and fulfillment and gratification is going to be filled. Porn, once again, as a concept, is going to be totally different. when you have the ability to create photorealistic representations of humans, then porn becomes instant and tailor-made to the individual. What about real fucking? I mean, that's like the best exploration of that, I think, is in Demolition Man. You know, when he goes to the future, he finds out that, you know, people no longer swap bodily fluids. They just hook their minds up together. And, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, if all this other shit that we're talking about is possible and plausible, and I think it is both of those things, then, you know, I think jerking off is a good way to illustrate the acceleration of technology. It's an aspect of human life that we don't really look at in a technological sense. But if you look at how jerking off has changed in just the last 200 fucking years, which is just a tiny little insignificant amount of time. You know, jerking off used to be like something that you had to close your eyes and imagine some bitch's ankle. You know what I mean? And now, I mean, when I was a kid, I mean, it's even in my lifetime, it's changed so dramatically. When I was a kid, porn magazines were basically your only bet because actual porns cost a fuck ton of money. So only like people that were genuinely collecting the shit even had porn in the video variety. And all the channels that showed porn, softcore though it may have been, were all fucking, your parents weren't buying that shit. So it's like, what do you do? You know, magazines, you know, even magazines that aren't meant to be porn. Like, I jerked off to catalogs when I was a kid. Like Macy's catalogs and shit. Go to the women's wear section, find a particularly curvy ass, and just be like, all right, well, that's close enough. Victoria's Secret catalogs, yep. I'm just saying, like, and then look at how it is now. Like now you just search whatever your absolutely laser focused little fucking fetish is. And you've got a million videos of a million different combinations of human beings doing that act in that very specific way. That's fucking insane. The difference there is absolutely monumental. I mean, it can't even be fucking quantified. To go from having to fucking steal looks at people's, you know, women dressed in short skirts or bra and panties from a fucking JCPenney's catalog to being able to sit down at a computer and search some absolutely specific, like crazy fucking asphyxiation slash scat slash BDSM, you know, and it's there. And it's not only there, but there are 80 different variations of it at least. Tons of combinations of different people, different body types, different genders, all engaging in that particular kind of fetish. It's fucking insane. And I think it's a pretty good lens to like look at how technology has progressed. Just look at how jerking off has changed in the last 100 years. From cave paintings of some breast to anthropomorphic rhubarb fucking on a computer. Yeah. Yeah, think about that. Like what were like our distant ancestors, some like, you know, 200,000 years ago or 150,000 years, like what were they jerking off to? What were they doing? Like, were there people that would like, you know, you bring them a nice flat rock and he'd draw some titties on there for you? You give him some acorns, you know? You pay a dude some acorns and he'll come over to your cave and he'll chisel a fucking naked cave bitch on your wall. Can't imagine consent was too valuable back then. You're probably right about that, but people were still jerking off. You know what I mean? It will be an amalgamation of movies: iRobot, Gamer, and Terminator. Oh, oh. There's all kinds of crazy shit just on the horizon, man. It would be really cool to be 10 right now. You know what I mean? Because I think that the people that are around that age or younger are going to see some fucking crazy shit. Although, you know, people a couple of generations before me could have said the same shit about me and been right. But you know, it sucks. It sucks to have to speculate about this shit. It sucks to be able to see the trajectory, like I said, but not be able to see the finished product, or even really see reasonably far into the future. You know, you couldn't handle being 10 now. I mean, it'd be a totally different fucking world, that's for sure. I'm really like honestly, I'm pretty out of touch when it comes to people that were raised with the internet not only just available but as considered a utility like it is now. So it's like something that you kind of have to have access to on some level. And just all the different aspects of life that are different because of that are pretty mind-boggling to me as an old fart. I'm sure that's going to continue to happen to me too. You know, if I'm lucky enough to make it another 20 years, I'm sure whatever newfangled fucking shit that's out then is just going to blow my fucking mind. That's kind of cool. I'll get my mind blown a few more times before I keel over and croak. Paul, you have always been an interesting fellow to listen to and help me through lonely times when I had no one to talk to. I still can't talk to you, but it's nice to listen. Well, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. Sheep's Peeps was fucking sheep and shit, thinking the kids would be satyrs. Yeah, they did do a lot of that too. Paul, do you like Batman v Superman? The only problem I had with it was a BS wasting of Doomsday at the end. Why not make Death of Superman? Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched the whole thing. I tried, and I couldn't get all that far into it. I kind of tapped out. So I know what happens in it because I watched other people's reviews and summations of the film. So I can understand the frustration, but I kind of wrote off that little side area of DC comic movies a long time ago. Nothing good's gonna come out of it as long as Ben Affleck is fucking Batman, dude. You know, it's amazing to me when I can't sleep and I'm bored. I can get online and watch someone in my neighboring state talk to like 50 other people who also can't sleep. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, think about this. Here's another thing that's changed, right? And it's pretty significant, I think. Back when I was a kid, if you bumped into a celebrity and they said hi to you, that was like you were like God. You know what I mean? That's still kind of the case, but there's way more access now. Like, people can get retweeted by the president of the United States, by the, you know, Kanye West, by the biggest stars of screen and film and music. Like, that level of fucking, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, it is dependent on the celebrity, but still, like, even celebrities that were really outgoing with their fans, you know what I mean, back in the day, you still had nowhere near the amount of access, not only directly to them in terms of providing feedback, but to their personal life. It's almost becoming like this expectation that people that are in entertainment live this very public life, and the younger ones almost all do. Oh shit, Billy the fucking fridges. How you doing, Billy? I could use me a Billy the Fridge hug right now, man. Can't Sleep Club? Yeah, dude. I'm a member, but I'm also a client. Wait. That's not how that used to go, was it? I'm the president, but I'm also a client. Yeah, the hair club for men. Okay. Yeah, because I'm a member, but I'm also a client. That's kind of saying the same shit. Oh, motherfuck. Paul says, spank my bum mummy in a bad British accent. Nah. Wow, guys, did you hear how Paul says his butts? How do I say butts? What am I saying wrong? What the fuck, dude? Thoughts on the Davos? I don't even know. I don't know what that is, dude. Everyone here can't sleep, but I'm just awake for work. Well, you're probably not the only one. I hear from people all the time that have jobs where they're doing something pretty chill at night and they listen, hang out, pass the time and shit. Do a fart. Let me see. No, man. There's nothing there. I'm gas free. I don't know what to tell you. Vegan Gains made a video digging food out of the trash to eat. Can't believe people still watch that guy. He's interesting, right? I mean, he might be fucking totally insane, but he's an interesting kind of insane, so I see why people watch him. Thoughts on the Kentucky school shooting? I know very little about it, to be honest with you. So, and I'm just kind of weary of talking about mass shootings, like probably everybody else. You discuss sensory body modifications, but what about modifications that make you immune to aging, make you biologically immortal? Um, I mean, let's assume that humanity continues on its current trajectory, relatively uninterrupted by global catastrophe or war. I would say that like that is probably humanity's ultimate future is a totally transhumanist future. A future where biological bodies are completely surreptitious. They've been replaced by cybernetic constructs, maybe interwoven with biology, or maybe just completely. I mean, eventually, on a long enough time scale, right, biology is completely phased out in favor of the vastly more stable and controllable and malleable technology. And then you become a race of technological beings. But at that time, to try and imagine what that would be like a caveman trying to imagine what it would be like to be a stockbroker. You know what I mean? Just we're that, we're a leap of maybe that magnitude from that kind of life, and humanity will undoubtedly go through many, many changes in terms of not only the way we govern and deal with one another, but just our values what we value as beings is going to change absolutely fundamentally in the next 200 years. And you know, there it's very likely that people will be very happy about this. Maybe it'll be celebrated the day that the last biological human dies. Maybe that day will be celebrated in the future, you know, as a milestone in the evolution of our species from, you know, unstable, soft, vulnerable biological flesh to, you know, perfect, ever evolving machinery. I wonder what we'll look like. We might look a lot like we look now, or maybe a lot like the most attractive among us look now. We might look nothing like we look now. You know, it might become out of vogue to look like a human. You know what I mean? There will inevitably be things like that where it's like, yeah, you'll have the option to have a human skin placed over your biological replacements, and people will do it. And then there'll probably be some kind of social backlash against those people. There'll be a, you know, show the machinery movement. You know, you can see my mechanical parts. You know, I can see it. You know, I mean, humanity is not going to lose that, not totally. So, Paul, I tried having this debate with a friend. He said when you go to space, even distant space, time doesn't stop. My argument is time is relative to which planet or area of space you are. I don't think that that's. I mean, that you're asking the wrong dude. I got to be honest with you. Time is one of those things that I don't understand a whole lot about, and I can't speak with anything even approaching authority on. I mean, I'm sure that there are places in the universe where time does not function on the same scale that it does here. And I think it's been proven that mass has something to do with that, right? So these areas of great mass that we posit are black holes. You know, it's been, I guess the theory is that time beyond the event horizon of a black hole doesn't exist, or slows down to a crawl, or accelerates, or. This is balls deep. Nah, man, this is just having a normal conversation. You think humanity will ever stop having wars? Eventually, sure. We've talked about this before, but I really think that human beings chase efficiency, and while we may not be good at it, that's what we're chasing. And as the technology gets better, and we rely less and less on our flawed biological minds, you know, efficiency is what people are going to strive for, and war is definitely inefficient. Can you put your tip in your bum and plug it up? I can. Holy shit. Good for you, dude. Some shitlord used your identity in Neckbeard's basement arena. Sweet. I mean, there are some nights, though, dude, I could be trying to talk about shit like this. Trust me, I've had tons of these nights where, you know, we get on a topic like this that I find interesting. A lot of people might find boring. They tune out. But the chat is just unusable. You know, I mean, the only reason that this works is because there are people here making genuine, interesting, you know, responses and asking questions and engaging. And that only happens every once in a blue moon on the show. Your average night, this type of topic just doesn't work. And maybe even if it would, it just doesn't go there because that's not where you guys lead it. You guys are the hive mind that, you know, decides the content for this show, pretty much. Paul, do you know the way? Ugandan meme voice. If you transfer into a machine, you die. I mean, you can't say that definitively. Like you've got to define what it means to be alive. If your consciousness is transferred into that machine and the biological machinery that once generated that consciousness died, are you dead? I don't think you are. Oh, dude, Chase and Tom, you're so fucking right, dude. It's so stupid. Like I love that there are people all fucking worked up about this. This is Brett Keane level shit. Like this is manatee trolling level shit. Like come on. Like I'm not sure why Worski's taken. I mean, I'm sure I know. He probably feels that he's emboldened by his newfound success and running a channel where he's getting these big live stream debates and shit, and he wants to take pot shots at TJ now. And he probably thinks it'll bring him viewers. Maybe it will. But this angle of attack, he's gonna have to find another one because I mean it's the Brett Keane angle. So maybe like you know what I would love to see, and I'm gonna be straight up fucking honest with you. If Worski wants to have a one-on-one debate with TJ about any fucking topic that TJ's passionate about, any topic, and say I'm washing TJ's balls or whatever, but I'm old and wise enough to take a look at Andy fucking Worski and know that TJ would absolutely dismantle him. Like Worski is an absolute fucking bubble-headed idiot. His fucking show is it's a popular fucking show because he gets interesting, intelligent people to come on and talk about things. But Andy Worski shouldn't talk about fucking anybody himself. Like that dude is a dunce of the highest fucking order. That's my personal opinion. It may not be shared amongst others, but I don't think Andy Worski should be calling anybody out because I think Andy Worski would probably get plucked by most of the mid-tier fucking people around. I don't think Andy Worski could defeat fucking like a Dusty Smith. You know what I mean? The current rise of the alt-right is fickle because the people the audiences are mental and the audiences are mental invalids. All Worski has to do is say he doesn't like some anime character. They all like, yeah. And that's the thing. Like he doesn't see the forest for the trees. Like this new kind of skepto whatever the fuck it is, you know what I mean? This kind of like right-leaning to alt-right skeptic community. It eats and shits out popular people at a rate that would fucking be astronomical in any other fucking organization. I mean, like, they love people for 6 months, and then those people do something that runs afoul of their sensibilities, and they're absolutely pilloried to the point where nobody's watching them anymore. And it just happens over and over again. And it's a matter of time before Andy Worski gets in over his little head. You know what I mean? Gets into a topic that he doesn't fully understand which fucking angle he's supposed to be taking to keep his viewers happy. Says the wrong thing, and hashtag Worski's a cuck is born, and his channel fucking falls to ruins. I mean, I know it's going to happen so clearly that I can almost fucking exist in a world where it's already happened. I can already feel how it feels to be in that world. So, whatever. blob monster will assimilate you. Whoa, assimilate, not inseminate. Jesus, where is my mind? I think Worski gets a bad rap in regards to his intelligence because of his speech impediment. He seems clever enough to ride this for quite a while. Oh, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying that, his fucking days are numbered because the audience that he's courting doesn't tolerate dissent. And as soon as he finds himself on the other end of an argument with them and he refuses to toe whatever line it is they're expecting him to toe, it's game over for him. And that's that. I mean, yeah, of course, everybody's days are numbered, my friend. Whatever, dude. You know, the reason I don't even care that Worski talked shit about TJ. The reason I don't like Andy Worski is how he acted in the aftermath of coming on the Drunken Peasants. It was at a time when his channel was teeny, teeny, tiny in comparison. And it was a pretty big shout out for him. And I thought that the episode was pretty good. His appearance was okay. You know what I mean? And he, because he got backlash in the chat, because our chat turned on him, he decided to throw the entire podcast under the bus and start shit talking us like we were responsible for his shitty fucking performance. And once you reveal that that's the type of fucking Weasley shithole type of person that you are, where you'll go on a podcast and give a performance that maybe a few people didn't like and immediately start looking around for people to point your finger at and blame for your shit fuck performance that pissed everybody off, then I really don't want to have nothing to do with you personally. These cuckboy alt-writers with their waifu avatars want to go back to the laws of nature. They will be the first to go. Whoa, dude, whoa. It happened with AIU, it happened with Kraut, it absolutely will happen to Andy. And when it does, he will have nothing because the dude is too dumb and boring to do anything else. I mean, I don't know about that. Maybe he'll go on and do something else. I'm not going to try and fucking prognosticate what Andy Worski's doing, but if you think he's going to be surfing the top echelons of the fucking alt-rightosphere for long, I'd just say take a look at the fucking graveyard of corpses that the alt-right has left behind it in terms of people that they once held up as these ubermenches who are now total dog shit. Like Sargon, people are starting to turn on Sargon now. I've already seen the fucking, the winds of change are a-blowing. Sargon is not alt-right and never was. Yeah, okay. All right. He just snuggled up to the alt-right and made videos and chose topics that he knew would please the alt-right. And then when questioned about it, just claimed he didn't know much about it, didn't have a position. Got it. Okay. Fair enough. Sargon, expert of climate change. Yeah. I've never really read a single article or heard a single expert speak about climate change. Never really looked into it, honestly. Don't really know. Don't really know. Skipping school to go to my first ever job interview at a finance company. Okay, cool. Fuck, man. You don't have to do the school thing. You skip straight to the finance company, then good on you. Great, another uneducated banker asshole. I mean, hey, dude, the world needs leeches and fucking mosquitoes, dude. It's just the way it is. Got to preserve the balance in all things. Well, that's why. That's why people are turning on him. You're making my point for me. Sargon is not towing the race realism line that's hot in the alt right now. And because of that, people are calling him fucking Sargoy and Soygon and all this other shit. But, you know, they've already started to cannibalize him. That's my whole point. Yes, but he is an alt right. Yeah, he just has a fucking giant audience consisting of a lot of alt right people that he has to toe the line with and keep happy. And what are we even discussing anymore? The alt right has always hated Sargon. Yeah, okay. That's why they used the meme that he created as their fucking face forever, right? That's why the Kekistanis happened, right? Andy Worski needs to take pointers from Shoe on Head and Armored Skeptic and start having different talking points every now and then. Yeah, the alt-right. These people trying to paint it like the alt-right always hated Sargon are fucking retarded. I place him on the pile of his ideas. And his ideas were all tailor-made to build an audience of alt-right people. So I tell you what, I'm with Sargon on the race realism shit. You know what I mean? I don't think that those kind of genetic differences amount to anything that we should be judging policy on. So I'm with him on that. But I can do that because I didn't spend my entire fucking YouTube career courting people that don't hold the same positions that I do. I can piss people off. I can have contrary fucking positions. Hey, Paul, did you see the Bernie Sanders Medicare for All town hall? I did not. You excited about the surgeon who, with a group of other surgeons, performed the first head transplant to a real human body this year? Look it up. He's already done it on some animals. Cool. The alt-right watched him because he punched left, but he was within the Overton window. Now well, that's my point, is that the Overton window shifts constantly in the alt-right. They're constantly making heroes and then, you know, it's like the fucking Roman Empire, man. They're making new emperors and then fucking backstabbing them and raising new emperors in their stead. This guy's going to be way better, man. This guy will be way better than Kraut and T. Yeah, we've got Warski now. How long do you think it's going to be before fucking Warski faces the Ides of March, dude? Andy Warski would destroy you, Paul. Dude, Andy Warski couldn't raise a welt on my fanny. Someone like Warski is heading your movement. You've got some. Well, I mean, look, dude, think about it, though. It's like the puppet emperor, right? We've got Warski. Warski, who's got a big enough channel that we can put these live streams on. He'll put on any alt-right fucking piece of dog shit that we want to, you know, put on. Any fucking crazy neo-Nazi race realist piece of fucking garbage. And he'll treat him like he's an actual interview and not a total scumfuck. Because he's too dumb. Because he sees the numbers and the super chats coming in. He's a useful idiot, dude. And as soon as he becomes unuseful, the fucking Ides of March will roll around, and Brutus and the fucking conspirators will bring the daggers out right on the floor of the fucking Senate. And Worski's guts will fucking spill out, and people will revel in the blood. And they'll find another useful idiot to prop up, and on in perpetuity. You mentioned the Ides of March. Would you sing their 1970s single "Vehicle" for us? Good joke. Good joke. Like I said, I think Worski is smart enough not to bite the hand that feeds him now, unlike Sargon. Yeah. Well, Worski is definitely constantly trying to tiptoe around offending the ever growing, ever more rabid alt right fan base that surrounds him. I mean, now that he's opened the fucking. I'm fine with him having whoever he wants to have on his fucking channel. But to have, straight out fucking alt right race realist trash on the fucking show and to not challenge it at all, to just do the Worski shuffle with it, whatever. You're a piece of shit at that point. I got in trouble for that shit. You say the wrong thing to the wrong fucking person. Milo Yiannopoulos was at the top of the heap at the time that he came on our show. He was the new fucking rising star of the alt-right. And, I couldn't stand the idea of having him on the show. And, not that the other guys weren't challenging his ideas, but I wasn't going to keep quiet about it. I wasn't going to sit and listen to him say, women are inherently inferior to men, and blah, 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 and yada, la, da, la. I wasn't, I wasn't going to sit and listen to Milo do his thing and not say something about it. You forgot Milo existed because he got replaced with the next guy? Right. The Ides of March happened. Milo stepped out of his lane. He did something that nobody wanted to fucking back up, and immediately the fucking long shivs came out and people moved on. Worski identifies as a race realist because he has to. I'm sure Andy Worski himself probably doesn't know enough to actually take the position of fucking race realism. He just has to do that because that's the benchmark right now. Are you red-pilled on the race realism question? Because if you ain't, got some daggers for you. What I think of the Hellraiser trailer, I mean, it looks like dog shit. Everything they've released, all the promotional materials for this Hellraiser Revelations or whatever the fuck it is, it just looks awful. There is indeed a new Hellraiser movie. You're right. I'm giving way too much credit to think he's smart enough to actually know anything about this shit his channel has been covering for months now. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, you can tell when he's having the conversation that he's not following it. I mean, his role when those types of conversations are going on is to, read super chats and shit. And to make vague, non-committal statements. I just don't see why it's a bad thing to just look at the evidence. You know what I mean? That's what I've always been about, here on the Worski show is about, looking at the evidence and stuff. And I don't really see why that's it seems to me like that's become like a taboo thing to look at the evidence. And that's really what I want to do. Anyway, Richard Spencer, you want to take the floor back and tell us how fucking black people are all monkeys? What a bobblehead. Like every time he has something to add about, it's just like, I'm not claiming to be an expert on this, and I'm not claiming to know everything and not claiming to be a scientist or whatever, a sociologist or whatever. I'm just all about, like I call myself like a race realist because I'm just about looking at the evidence, and being real about it. I don't really see what's so like controversial about being a race realist. You know what I mean? Like being a realist about anything would be good. You know what I mean? Like for me, like being a realist about going to get a cheeseburger is a good thing, So why wouldn't it be a good thing to, you know what I mean? Anyway, Richard Spencer, can you tell me how black people are inherently stupider and therefore should be kicked out of the country, please? Could you take the floor back? Because you know me, I'm not a. His audience has been turning on him. I've been seeing a bunch of I mean, he's going to have that negativity. He's big enough now that there's going to be a significant chunk of negativity that follows him everywhere he goes. But I don't know. I don't follow it too closely. I'm just regurgitating what I've heard. What does it matter though? Ultimately, it accomplishes nothing. I mean, whatever. You could argue that back and forth. Skeptics are falling apart. The skeptics are crazy. Liberalistism. Well, too many people ignoring rationality. Do you agree with any alt-right talking points? I mean, throw them out at me. Because that's another problem I have with the alt-right is nobody can really kind of define for me what the fuck it is, what it means to be alt-right, what the alt-right is, what their beliefs are, and how they different from just traditional hard right social conservatism. Like I'm not seeing the difference or distinction. So give me some talking points. What are some talking points of the alt-right? Go for it. There is an IQ difference between the races. I agree that that's probably true based on the scientific evidence. I believe that it's probably true that there's a negligible difference between IQ levels based on racial populations. I just listened to that Natalie half-brained faggot naked ape accused TJ of being a pedo using fake Sagan as a source. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, that's how you can tell somebody just wants to take a snipe at you when they scrape the fucking bottom of the barrel so hard that they get little flakes of fucking fake Sagan and Brett Keane everywhere. Like, is there a better sign of somebody that's just looking for anything to try and fucking snipe at you about? You should look at the latest travel advisor map for U.S. citizens from the government that was released. Most of Western Europe is in the yellow, while Eastern Europe is fine. What is that supposed to tell me? A classic alt-right talking point is that people with different ethnicities are inherently different and cannot coexist peacefully, and will always try to oppress the other ethnicity. I think that's bullshit. Next. Here come the shit stirrers. It's okay, dude. The bubbles are here to protect us. You're a fucking idiot if you believe IQ has anything to do with race. I don't know if the differences in IQ that have been measured have a direct correlation with race or whether it's due to something else, like poverty or geography, different diets. Torpedoes have been shooting out of my ass for the last hour now. Cool. You getting a good cleanse. I mean, he's not saying all people of this race have a low IQ. We're just talking about averages here. We're talking about averages. We're talking about scientific studies that seem to indicate that there is a difference in IQ, marginal though it may be, along racial lines. And I think the jury is out as to what the cause of that difference in IQ is, whether it's inherent to the racial genetic makeup or whether it's some combination of nature and nurture. How legit are those studies, though? Legit enough that I'm willing to say that I think it's, they're probably just fine. Now, once again, this is not something I spend a lot of time reading about because my position has always been that it doesn't matter unless you're talking about some catastrophic difference where it's like we're this race is an order of magnitude smarter than this race across the fucking board, We're talking about a marginal difference in IQ that is going to make absolutely no difference in terms of whether people can intermingle, interbreed, and live peaceably with one another and perform any function in society from the top down. Good, I'm glad Oprah's not running. I don't want a President Oprah. John Kerry might run in 2020 instead. Man, old crazy dry lips Kerry is gonna fucking roll his old lurch looking ass back out for another run, huh? Old dry lips, lurch looking motherfucking bolts in the neck Kerry is gonna fucking lay down on the slab and let the lightning bolt resurrect him for one more run. Brendan, dude, I've seen you hanging in here. Quit spamming, dude. Do you remember? What? No. Hey, Paul, for my English class, I have to eventually interview a military vet, record the convo audio, video of it, and make an essay. I wasn't expecting that. Dude, here's what we'll do. Just get a hold of me, and I'll pretend to be a combat vet, and I'll just make up insane stories about my time in the, in Desert Storm or some shit. It'll be the easiest fucking A that you've ever fucking gotten. Stolen Valor? Whatever. It's for some stupid college project. I don't care. I'll steal a little valor for that. Yeah, dude. I was in that chopper that Hillary Clinton was on that got shot down over Bosnia. And it was me, personally, that dove on the grenade that was aimed at her. I saw it arcing through the air, and I just launched myself up with everything that I could muster and caught that grenade right on my chest. And because of that, Mrs. Clinton was, of course, evac'd, and there were no other incidents that day, and people ask me all the time, like, what was going through your mind? And, you can't answer that question for a person that's never been in that position and never had the training, that I've had to deal with those kinds of high stress, high risk, high reward situations. And, it doesn't even come down to a thought process at that point. It's just, it's your duty, I saw that grenade arcing towards then Secretary of State Clinton. I saw my duty arcing towards me. So, super chat. Bernie Sanders is going to run again, do 8 years, then another 8 years, live to be 100, and get a presidential letter to himself from himself. Damn. Who else was it that claimed that they were like in a fucking shootout? Wasn't there like a news? Oh yeah, Brian Williams, right? Isn't it Brian Williams that claimed that like I was on, on location in Afghanistan and was in a chopper that was engaged in a live firefight. The gunner was taken out by a stray anti-aircraft bullet, and so I manned the big fucking rotary cannon and took out 18 Arabs myself. I'm the only newsman with a body count of 18 Arabs. Yes, I manned the minigun. And in other news tonight, I'm a motherfucking hero. Yes, that's right. While on location in Afghanistan shooting the story about Sheikh bin al-Hadi, I was in the chopper when it was engaged in a live firefight. And the guy manning the big rotating minigun cannon was shot and unfortunately mortally wounded by an anti-aircraft round. And I saw the opportunity to sit down at the gun, and I did. And I killed me 12 Afghan Arabs for America. In other news, Taylor Swift's vagina came peeking out from underneath her miniskirt as she got out of a limo today in Van Nuys. We're going live. Isn't it a depressing fucking time to be alive, dude? You just don't lead them so much. I love that scene. You kill women or any children? Yeah. Yeah, I killed women and children. How do you do that? What? Kill women and children. It's easy. You just don't lead them so much. Man. Goddamn. That's some fantastic shit right there. Remember the R. Bud Dwyer video? It was brutal. That is one of the crazier videos that you can find. I mean, no, I guess it's not anymore. You can find videos of like the Russian mob using a chainsaw to behead a dude now. But the R. Bud video is a whole different thing. That's not like an act of, I guess it is kind of an act of terrorism to kill yourself in a public way that way, but that was more of just like an act of protest done in front of a live studio audience, and he just kind of paints the fucking wall with his brains. Paul just needs an agent. Yeah, dude, hook me up with an agent, dude. I'm gonna need an agent. Then I'll be a star. Look out, world, here I come. Would you be willing to lose some weight? Sure, dude. I'll do whatever the fuck. You want to give me a tattoo on my face that says dickhead or something for a role? I'll do it. Shapiro 2020. No thanks. Paul, stop smoking, you moron. MD here. Time to stop. Dude, back off, MD. Okay? Just, I'm not trying to fucking hear it, okay? I got other shit going on. I got other things on my mind, yo. Go wave your fucking certificate in somebody else's face, director. Paul got a smoking problem. I don't smoke. I don't smoke cigarettes. Like, I only smoke the Bubblicious grape vape. Paul, stop the bubbles, you moron. MD, HD here. Time to stop low res. Why do old people like to watch Jeopardy? Because it's easy to follow, because they've been watching it for their whole fucking horrible, miserable lives, and like the rules of the game are just innate to them and they know how to play. I mean, really all it does require you to do is to just answer the questions on your own as fast as you can. You know what I mean? And everybody's, I mean, like, it's the, I don't know. It's the same reason they watch that. Like, if you look at shit that's on in the midday, like on the normal network TV stations, they're aiming that shit at old people. You know what else old people like? Courtroom dramas and talk shows like Maury Povich and Ricky Lake and shit. Old people love that shit. They love soap operas too. Family Feud. So yeah, you get your game shows, you get your Judge Judy, you get your soap operas. That's what the old people like, man. Fucking TJ Kirk. Why is he so awesome? I don't know, dude. He just radiates the awesome. There's old people game show called Eggheads. Really? Double Dare. Yeah, dude. Double Dare was pretty dope. How'd you feel when Paul Walker died? I was in class and the news broke. Everyone went silent. And I broke that silence by unjokingly going, "Who? I've never heard of the fucking guy before." Yeah, dude, I don't really care. I'm sorry. Whatever. Sure, Paul Walker was a nice guy. I don't mean to be like irreverent or whatever the fuck, but I don't care. Paul, don't you enjoy some good old bland entertainment? Oh yeah, dude, for sure. I'll even watch some of that shit myself, dude. I'm an old fuck, so now I won't. I usually don't watch Jeopardy or any of that shit, but I will watch like some Judge Judy clips every once in a while, some Pawn Stars. I like just the clips where it's just like, you know. So I'll watch that shit. I don't know what to tell you. You seen The Man in the High Castles? The Nazi U.S. show. It's great. Nope, haven't seen it. Video Game Underground has the best video games in town. I've heard that. I've heard that rumor. Do you have a favorite sports team? Yes, the Raiders. I use favorite loosely because I have a very love-hate relationship with the Raiders. And it's a lot of disappointment being a Raiders fan. And I've always been a Raiders fan. So, do you watch Omni Destiny? Yes, I do. I've been watching Destiny for a long time. I started watching him way back in the day because he did this interview with this crazy sociopathic kid named Combat X, who was this guy he would play in StarCraft from time to time, and they had kind of a rivalry. And he ended up doing this interview with him, and it's really long, but it's one of the funniest fucking things you'll watch. And since then, I've followed him. I watch his streams on and off. What's going on with the bubbles? I don't know, man. What the fuck you think's going on with the bubbles, bitch? Do you play WoW? Do Mything Plus with me? I don't play WoW. I don't want to play WoW. Yeah, I love the bubble cast. But unfortunately, my phone is limited by its battery. And its battery is almost dead. So, good night, everybody. Thank you for chilling. Have a good one.